So to answer your question, I just think it's how your parents raise you, right? But that's my little input there. We didn't get your input though, what do you think?
I agree with all y'all. No, but it's like you said, like growing up, I knew the difference. Like I knew the music that I was, not that I wasn't allowed to listen to, but like, I'm not listening to the cursing ones in front of my mama. You get the edited versions, you know what I mean? Like you knew when to do what, right? And it wasn't always in our face. I think now it's so much with the social media in your face all the time. Like, yeah, they're gonna eventually think that, oh, this is how it should be done. Like in our time, we listened to it, but we didn't have images hitting us all the time. That's the exact same thing. So if someone was talking about guns and stuff like that, you knew that, okay, they're telling their life. Obviously, in my life, I'm not around people, or I don't know people who are gonna get me guns like that and stuff like that. Like, it also what the kind of life you live yourself. Right? If you live that street life and you're listening to the street music, you're probably gonna, be influenced by it a little bit because they're doing almost the same thing you are. So you feel like, oh, okay, well, he's got the guns, I got the guns, yeah, I can make that same move, I can do that, I can rob that bank, just like he said in the song, but...
Yeah. We're raising our kids now in the age of technology.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Which
have it everywhere.
Which is sad. And that's the thing that we're kind of struggling with at our house. Like we want our free time, right? So we'll say to the kids, okay, you can have the tablet for 20 minutes, half an hour, right? And it's to give us that peace and serenity for a short period of time, but we also don't want them addicted to that stuff, right? And I think that's where we kind of lose our kids, because when we allow them to be on the computer and on social media for like 2 or 3 hours, we don't know what's going on, right? And I really do think that we live in a world now where social media is just taking too much control of us, period. And I don't think there's really not much that we can do, because we're living in a world where technology is going to evolve more and more and more and greater. And eventually I think we're going to get lost. And we're going to lose our sense of what it means just to be human and teaching us how to grow.
But you have control now. They're still minors.
Yeah, but
so like with my girls, like we did same thing. I was like, no, you're not going to. Cell phone. She was asking for a cell phone from she was in grade 4.
Yeah, but you can't monitor them. You can't monitor her throughout the whole entire day. So
no, but I didn't get her that. And then when it's home time, okay, we're at home. We did have game night. We'd have another night where it's like, okay, every week I tell them, pick another culture. So one week we'd go and have Mexican food. Another week we'd have Indian. Another week we'd have Portuguese. Like just to expose them to things that, I want them to be cultured and know that there are different cultures, and try different things instead of just sitting at home.
Or just on your oxtail.
Yeah, like just expose them and let them see, like there are different things out there.
Yeah.
So by keeping them, active and still engaged in something else, still family time.
That's right.
You're still learning something, but you're learning it with me. You don't have to be online.
I think off camera we dabbled in it just a little bit, since you in all of your respective lines of work, you deal with children, right? So I'll start with you, Shrika. What is the biggest challenge in your career right now as far as dealing with children? What do you think is the biggest challenge for you?
Oh gosh.
You have to choose one.
Or one of the many.
I would say just meeting all of their needs. So like one of the things that I make sure I do at the beginning of the year, it's like forget about the assessment right away. It's like really getting to know the kids, what they like, what they're interested in, a little bit about their families. And then you really start to see, okay, where the kids are at academically, and there are huge gaps. So like I teach grade 2 and 3 right now. I have kids who are at the grade 3 level, some kids are at grade 2 level, grade 1 level, and some kids who are still working at like a kindergarten level. So then it's up to me to say, okay, well, this is where this child is at. How am I going to tailor my teaching
And that's something that you have to keep on top of for 10 months out of the year, right?
On top of it, yeah. So bringing them to what we call team to meet with our special education teacher,
Mhm.
the principal to say, okay, these are the strengths that this child has, these are the needs, this is where they're working at in math, language, social studies, but these are where the gaps are. So then we have to then create documents
Mhm.
that will basically state what that child will be learning
Mhm.
for the year. So they're updated a few times of the year, they can be updated at any time. You have communication with the families. It's just a lot,
Okay.
right?
And what would you say is the best part of your job? So we spoke about the challenges, what's the best part of your job? If you have to choose one thing.
The best part.
Come on, it has to be one thing.
I think it's when like
There's a lot.
the kids look up to you and they're like, oh wow, you're so smart, or they kind of like idolize you. Not that I
Right.
want them to idolize you,
No, I
but
get
it's
what
like
you're saying.
you realize how big of a job you have.
That's right.
Like how important and impactful your job is. Like I could tell them to jump 10 times and they'll just jump. They'll literally do whatever
They
you
have
say.
faith in you, bro.
So it's like you have to really be a good-hearted person to like do your best job at teaching.
You know, it's funny. It's good that you said that. You don't realize how imperative your position is as an educator.
Right.
You're literally that first window
Mm-hmm.
towards how they should be out in the corporate world.
Right.
As far as hard work, as far as ethic. Yes, you should learn that at home with your parents, but outside of the home, you are that first avenue, that first road into how they should go about in life as far as careers, as far as their career is concerned,
Mm-hmm.
and as far as personal relationships. You know what I mean?
Because for me, it's like, all right, the academics are great. I
Mhm.
want to make sure that what I'm teaching you will help you out in
In
the
life,
real world too.
absolutely,
Right?
100%. Very good. And for you, Miss, what's the most challenging part of your day as a school bus driver? What would you think?
Once she educates, you gotta bring them.
That's right. So after a
So,
long day,
Before they get to her, how are they?
So Shrika has stressed them out for the past 6 hours.
Oh my
They're now
God.
coming on your bus. They smell like
Listen,
sun.
sometimes they come to me and then there's stuff that's happened on the bus.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How are they before they
Morning
even
and
get to
afternoon.
them?
I'm dealing with both.
So what are the challenges that you see?
It's honestly, I think it's patient, respect. You have to respect the kids in order for them to respect you,
Mhm.
and being kind. There's kids that will call on the bus and they don't even say good morning, but your energy is what they feed off of. So
Mhm.
you continue to see that they're not. You know them. It's only a couple
Mhm.
that won't say good morning. Doesn't matter what you do. Good morning, smile. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, nice hairstyle today. But you gotta keep the positive. You gotta be nice, even though they're not. And one day, out of that blue, they're gonna say good morning.
I'm glad that you said.
They're gonna say that good morning, and you be like, you don't show it, but you're like, okay, good.
I'm glad that you said that too, because
Yeah.
just like Sharika's line of work, your job is just as imperative as well, because they may wake up and they may have a garbage morning, right? Whatever happens in the house before 8:30, before 8:45 comes. Once they leave that environment and they see a smiling bus driver, welcome them in with a smiling face, hi, how are you, greeting, that may change the rest of their day, right? So you don't know how you approach them at the beginning of the day, that can last throughout the day, and that may make your job easier, right? So we appreciate both of your positions.
Thank you.
And there we go. And what is the most negative part of your day, if you had to choose one?
The candy rush, the yelling, screaming, to the point I had to break.
Any sick kids?
Y'all, sick. There's couple of kids that have nut allergies and stuff like that. So the challenge part of it is make sure the bus is clean, because these kids do not listen. They say no, food, they still be handed out.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't have 20 odd eyes, so I can't see who is eating on the bus. I have to always make sure I go and check, and then I'll wipe the seats and stuff for the kids who do have nut allergy or all kind of allergies. Nowadays it's everything. There's so many allergies out there.
Shout out to all the school bus drivers. We appreciate you guys, and we recognize the importance of your position and your job. So, congratulations. And last but not least, the social worker, Latoya. What are your biggest challenges, and what are your positives of your
Or one
line
of
of
your
work?
many challenges that you face?
the trigger, everybody is different, all individuals. But there could be something basic.
Mm.
Like I have one person that I work with, whenever he sees a child, oh, that's my son. And he'll go to grab, I'm like, no, 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 you cannot grab somebody's child. You can't do that.
Mm.
Yeah, or, no, that's my daughter. And I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Mm.
You know, and then he may get to the point where it's like, he wants to so badly to go to the child. No, that's when I have to kind of hold you and we're going home.
Mm.
Because if I let you go, you're going to go and do that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just the behaviors, the triggers.
Mm.
Everybody has, there's another one, coffee. If he sees somebody with a coffee cup,
Mm.
it's over.
Yeah.
He has jumped over the counter